Which country has the most bizarre borders? This is Belgium. But wait, why is part of Belgium inside the Netherlands? And why is that part of the Netherlands inside Belgium? Oh, welcome to Baarle-Hertog and Baarle-Nassau, the most complex border puzzle on the planet. But what if we could actually measure how bizarre a country's borders are? Let's dive in. Imagine a country's border as a polygon graph. The points where borders change direction are nodes, and the lines connecting them are edges. So, how do we quantify how bizarre a border is? We looked at three factors. 1. Border complexity, measured by how irregular the border shape is. Think of it as how many twists and turns a border has. Imagine tracing a country's outline with your finger. How often would you need to change direction? Countries with jagged coastlines, fragmented territories, or borders that snake through mountains and rivers score high on border complexity. For example, Norway's intricate fjords and Canada's Arctic archipelagos significantly contribute to their high complexity scores. 2. Fractal dimension, a mathematical way of capturing complexity of natural shapes, like coastlines. Imagine zooming into a jagged coastline. No matter how close you get, the irregularities continue to reveal themselves. This self-similarity at different scales is what fractal dimension measures. Countries with intricate, winding borders or highly fragmented territories, like Indonesia's scattered islands or Norway's fjord-lined coast, score high on this metric. It allows us to quantify how rough or smooth a border is beyond just its length or shape. 3. Enclaves and exclaves, those odd pockets of territory that belong to one country but are surrounded by another. Enclaves are pieces of land completely enclosed within another country, while exclaves are parts of a country separated from its main territory. These can get incredibly complicated, sometimes even forming enclaves within enclaves. A perfect example is Baarle-Hertog in Belgium, where Belgian enclaves are scattered within the Netherlands and even contain Dutch enclaves inside them. Another famous case was the chaotic border between Bangladesh and India, which once had over 160 enclaves, some nested multiple layers, deep before a land swap agreement simplified things in 2015. These odd territories often result from historical treaties, wars, and colonial-era land deals, leaving behind some of the world's strangest borders. Using high-resolution geographic data from sources like OpenStreetMap and Natural Earth, we analyzed and quantified border complexity by breaking down intricate boundary lines into measurable components. We factored in perimeter-to-area ratios, fractal dimensions of coastlines, and the number of enclaves and exclaves a country possesses. By combining these metrics into a composite score, we created a ranking system to objectively determine which countries have the most bizarre and convoluted borders. And the winner is Belgium. Specifically the town of Baarle-Hertog, a Belgian municipality that has 22 enclaves inside the Netherlands. But it doesn't stop there. Some of these Belgian enclaves themselves contain Dutch counter-enclaves, creating a mind-boggling scenario of enclaves within enclaves. This intricate patchwork results in situations where the border zigzags unpredictably, sometimes splitting houses, cafes, and even driveways between two countries. Residents navigate a labyrinth of laws, currencies, and utilities depending on which side of the border they're standing on, all within the same street. Coming in second is Canada, with its sprawling maze of Arctic islands, rugged mountain ranges, and jagged coastlines that stretch across the Atlantic, Pacific, and Arctic oceans. The sheer number of islands, over 52,000, creates an incredibly fragmented and irregular border, particularly in the north, where glacial erosion has sculpted the landscape into intricate fjords and waterways. The border between Canada and Denmark's Greenland, marked by the tiny, disputed Hans Island, adds an extra layer of complexity. And third place goes to the Bangladesh-India border, once infamous for its tangled web of enclaves and exclaves. Before the historic 2015 land swap agreement, this border was home to more than 160 enclaves, including second order and even third order enclaves, where Indian territory was inside Bangladesh land, which was inside Indian land, and so on. Though much of this has been resolved, remnants of the past still shape the region's geopolitical and cultural landscape. Here are the top 5. 1. Belgium-Netherlands border. 2. Canada. 3. Bangladesh-India border. 4. Indonesia. 5. Norway. But why do these bizarre borders even exist? It's a mix of history, treaties, colonialism, and a bit of stubbornness. In Barl, medieval treaties between feudal lords and dukes resulted in an almost comical entanglement of borders, with territories changing hands over taxes and land rights. Over the centuries, these ancient agreements were never fully untangled, leaving behind today's chaotic border maze. In Bangladesh and India, the story is steeped in colonial legacy. During British rule, whimsical land trades between local landlords led to a staggering number of enclaves, pockets of land belonging to one country entirely surrounded by another. Before 2015, this included the world's only third order enclave, an Indian territory inside Bangladesh, which itself contained another Indian enclave. And Canada? Nature takes the credit. Its fragmented border is a result of ancient glaciers carving out thousands of islands and rugged coastlines. The Arctic archipelago, with over 52,000 islands, and territorial disputes like Hans Island with Denmark, only add to Canada's border complexity. So, how do we actually measure this? We use metrics like the parameter to area ratio for complexity, fractal dimension for natural shape complexity, and we count how many enclaves and exclaves each country has. Then we combine these into a composite score. And yes, I wrote a Python script to do this, because of course I did. I pulled high-resolution border data, analyzed complex polygon shapes, calculated parameter to area ratios, fractal dimensions, and even tracked enclaves and exclaves across the globe. It was a mix of data science, geography, and a lot of debugging. The result? A ranked list of the most bizarre country borders, backed by real data and a lot of number crunching. But here's the big question. Does bizarre always mean bad? Or could it actually be fascinating, even beneficial? Strange borders often come with unique cultural blends, quirky traditions, and sometimes even economic perks. In some places, the complexity of borders has turned towns into bustling tourist hubs, while in others, it has fostered a deep sense of shared community identity across national lines. So, is a bizarre border a problem, or is it an opportunity waiting to be explored? Not really. In fact, it's a major tourist attraction. Visitors flock to Barl Hertog and Barl Nassau to experience the thrill of crossing international borders multiple times in just a few steps. Cafes have lines running through them that separate Belgium and the Netherlands, and some houses even have 2 addresses depending on which country the front door is in. Local businesses play into this quirky geography by selling souvenirs that highlight the town's tangled borders. This unique setup not only fascinates tourists, but also fosters a strong, blended community identity where cultures, languages, and traditions seamlessly intertwine. So, which country do you think has the most bizarre borders? Let me know in the comments. Oh, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more geography deep dives. See you next time.